Today we'll be talking about animal tissues. Now, animal tissues are basically divided into four categories. The first type is epithelial tissue, which is basically a protective tissue. Next, we have connective tissue. As the name says, it connects different parts of the body. Third category is of muscular tissue, which comprises of different kinds of muscles in our body. And the fourth one is nervous tissue, which is present in the brain and spinal cord and in the nerves of our body. We first move on to epithelial tissue, which is further divided into four kinds. Squamous epithelium, which has thin flat plate-like cells. Cuboidal epithelium, which has cube-like cells. Third is columnar epithelium, which has column-like cells. And fourth category is stratified epithelium. Strata means layers. So this consists of several layers of cells. The columnar epithelium is further divided into two categories. The cells which have hair-like projections called cilia on them constitute the ciliated epithelium, and cells which are mainly concerned with secreting some special chemical substances, they are present in the glandular epithelium. So we have epithelial tissue of four kinds: squamous, cuboidal, columnar and stratified, and columnar is further divided into ciliated and glandular. The connective tissue is divided into three categories. They are connective tissue proper, supportive connective tissue, and fluid connective tissue. Fluid means in liquid state. So we have first connective tissue proper. The connective tissue proper is further divided into areolar, adipose and fibrous connective tissue. Now, areolar tissue is a binding tissue which is present under the skin. It helps to connect the skin to the underlying parts. So that comes in the first category, that is connective tissue proper, the areolar tissue present under the skin. Then we have adipose tissue. Adipose tissue is the tissue which stores fat. This is also present under the skin, but it is a fat storing tissue. And third category is fibrous connective tissue, that is tissues which are comprised of fibers. Under fibrous connective tissue, we have two categories. They are tendon and ligament. Tendons help to join muscles to bones. That is, at a joint, some muscles are joined to the bones. That work is done by tendons. And ligaments help to join bone to bone. So, at a joint where two bones are meeting, ligament is present, and where a muscle is connected to the bone, tendon is present. So, connective tissue is of different types. The first category is connective tissue proper, which is further divided into areolar, adipose and fibrous connective tissue. And fibrous connective tissue is of two kinds, tendon and ligament. Then we come to the next category of connective tissue, and that is supportive connective tissue. Supportive connective tissue is further divided into bone and cartilage. Bone gives support to the entire body by forming the supporting skeleton of the body, whereas cartilage gives support to some specific organs like the external ear or pinna, or the tip of the nose, or at the end of long bones. Cartilage is present, giving flexible support, whereas bone gives hard and rigid support. Fluid connective tissue, which means it is in fluid state. It is of two kinds, blood and lymph. Blood, we all know, is red in color, flows in blood vessels, has RBCs, WBCs, platelets and plasma. Whereas lymph is straw in color, it's straw color, does not have RBCs, and it flows through lymph vessels and is also present in the spaces surrounding the cells. So we'll revise about connective tissue, the main types. Connective tissue proper of three kinds: in which fibrous is divided into tendon and ligament. Supportive connective tissue, two types, bone and cartilage. Fluid connective tissue, again two types, blood and lymph. Then we have muscular tissue. Muscular tissue is of three kinds. Striated, that means having stripes, also called skeletal muscles. Unstriated, not having stripes, also called smooth muscles. And cardiac muscles, as the name says cardiac, present in the walls of the heart. Striated muscles which are having stripes are present in the arms and legs. These muscles are voluntary muscles. Voluntary means under the control of our will. When you want to move them, you want them to contract, you can do it. When you want them to relax, you can do it. Like muscles of the arms and legs, they are voluntary in nature. Unstriated muscles are involuntary in nature. They are found in the walls of urinary bladder. So that is not under the control of our will. You cannot control their contraction and relaxation, or muscles found in the walls of stomach and intestine. Cardiac muscles are present in the walls of heart. Their nature is also involuntary. They are not under the control of our will. They contract and relax tirelessly throughout life without getting tired. They are found only in the walls of the heart. The last category of animal tissues is nervous tissue, and nervous tissue doesn't have any types. It is made up of specialized cells called nerve cells or neurons. That is why nervous tissue is also called neural tissue. So this is a brief outline of the four kinds of animal tissues: epithelial, connective, muscular and nervous. We'll first begin with epithelial tissue, which is basically a protective tissue. The first kind of epithelial tissue, as explained to you earlier, is squamous epithelium. Squamous epithelium consists of cells which look like this. They are thin, flat, plate-like, without any intercellular spaces, and having a prominent nucleus in the center. So thin and flat cells with a prominent nucleus in the center, present in the lining of the mouth cavity or on the inner side of the cheek, even in the lining of the nasal cavity and lining the blood vessels. That is the location. Function is it protects the inner lying parts from any mechanical injury or entry of germs. So for every tissue, learn the structure, location and function. Structure is composed of flat plate-like cells, somewhat polygonal in nature with a prominent nucleus. This is the cell membrane, this is the nucleus and this cytoplasm filled here. You have to label the diagram. This is squamous. Location is present in the inner lining of mouth cavity, nasal cavity, blood and lymph vessels. And function is it protects the underlying parts from entry of germs, harmful chemicals or any mechanical injury. Next is cuboidal epithelium, which consists of cube-like cells. As you can see here, they are cube-like cells. So this is the structure, consists of small cube-like cells. What is the location? Found in the inner lining. Remember, epithelial tissues are always present in the lining. Inner lining of kidney tubules. Kidney tubules are tiny filters or tubes present inside the kidney which help to filter the waste. So present in the inner lining of kidney tubules and also in the inner lining of many ducts like the pancreatic duct or the salivary gland duct, they are present there. And function is that they are mainly secretory in function. They secrete specific substances. So that is the SLF of cuboidal epithelium. The third kind is columnar epithelium. You can see that they are brick-like cells, cylindrical cells, brick-like cells arranged in a pillar-like manner. Again, no intercellular space. Nucleus usually is towards the base. Here you will see nuclei is in the center, but here nucleus is towards the base. They are elongated cylindrical cells. Location is that they are present in the inner lining of stomach and intestine. And function is they are mainly absorptive in function. So we have squamous epithelium, which is protective in function. We have cuboidal epithelium, which is secretory in function. And we have columnar epithelium, which is absorptive in function, helps in absorption of various substances because it is present in the inner lining of stomach and intestine. The columnar epithelium is divided into two kinds, ciliated and glandular. Look at this epithelium. Cells are similar to the columnar epithelium because it's a modified columnar epithelium having hair-like projections called cilia at one end. These cilia move in a rhythmic manner like this, just like we sweep the floor or like a lashing movement. They move together and they drive away any foreign substance which comes in contact with them. They move it away. Just like sweeping is done, cilia move in a rhythmic manner. Where is it present? It is present in the inner lining of trachea or windpipe. Remember the location. And function is cilia keep moving in a rhythmic manner or in a lashing manner and move away or drive out any dust particles or germs which try to enter into the trachea. This is what glandular epithelium cells look like. Cells are columnar in shape, just like the columnar epithelial cells, but few cells inside it are modified and they are called goblet cells. Goblet cells secrete special chemicals like mucus or any other substance or tears for that matter, because this epithelium is present in specific areas like tear glands or salivary glands, where tear or saliva or mucus in the nose are produced by specialized cells called goblet cells. So this is about glandular epithelium. And the last category is stratified epithelium. Stratified rocks or stratified word means having several layers. As you can see, two different shapes of cells are there and they are arranged in layers. So a layer-like arrangement is found in stratified epithelium. Example, in your skin or in the cornea of your eye. They are composed of layers of different kinds of cells providing protection to inner parts. So this is about the different types of epithelial tissues, what they look like, what is their structure, what is their location, and what is the function performed by them.